Got to give it up for the Pac-12. The league is so thick at the top that there are multiple games every week that are meaningful games with quality competition and usually entertaining. Look at Washington USC with that over/under of 76. We got Steve Merrill here from Wager Talk. You can also catch him right here on YouTube at Wager Talk TV, breaking down college football, the NFL, and the NBA. And of course, Steve gives us that exclusive under the radar selection as a YouTube channel member over on the main channel. Washington and USC, of course, Washington flying high undefeated. USC, despite a win last week at Cal, a very ugly win, giving up 49 points as that defense, Steve, continues to struggle.
It does. And I talked about the Cal USC game on several shows last week on Wager Talk TV. And I actually used my free play of the week at wagertalk.com on my page Saturday was on Cal plus the 10 as what I thought was a live dog. And a part of that play was the terrible USC defense that you mentioned. And the other part was the potential letdown, the bubble burst after their second loss of the season. I really thought that was a potential flat spot, and they can't stop anybody on top of that. Some of the TV shows I did as well at Wager Talk TV, I hedged the Cal play with the over as well, just in case Cal couldn't keep up offensively. But 50-49, obviously, it kind of played out exactly like I thought it would. So the question becomes, the narrow win, does that get USC back on track now? That is a concern. With that said, though, I do think we get some line value in this game because, first of all, my database simulation, 10,000 games, my main simulation, on average, actually has USC winning this game by 2.5 points. So it's a false favorite. I think the wrong team is favored based on that. But I run other projections and other models as well, and many of them do have USC winning this game outright also. And many of the other models, the stat models I use, have them outgaining a very powerful Washington squad. So yes, USC is questionable on defense here, but they can still score, in my opinion, with the best of them and still might be as good as any offense in the country. In fact, a month ago, we were calling them the best offense in the country. Put it in perspective, USC, even with the two losses, is still averaging 46 points a game. Washington's averaging 40.5. Now, Washington does average 8 yards per play, USC 7.5. Definitely not going to talk anybody off and over here. It's funny, we did the Nebraska-Michigan State, we did the Iowa-Northwestern previews, and those were, 34.5 and 30.5 for the totals. Both those games combined are not going to reach what this one reaches, within a 10-point margin even. So I'll even say pretty comfortably that's probably not going to happen. Plus, I kind of like the over here. And the same logic we use with the unders with those low totals, it actually works well with high totals as well. In fact, we've done studies over the years in the NBA. If you blindly over the years have played like the highest NBA totals over each season, when they get to that 230, 240 range, they've gone over like 70% of the time. So it works in all sports. The lowest totals stay under, the highest totals stay over. And it's counterintuitive. You feel like you're giving up value, but the reason it works is because the general betting public doesn't play them for that reason, and they don't price them high enough. I think USC is obviously a live dog based on my metrics. I am a little bit concerned about the D and the focus still, so the over would make some sense as well, in my opinion.
Washington high flying offensively, and of course that sparkling 8-0 record and newly released top 5 college football playoff ranking. However, they have struggled in successive weeks, only led Stanford 35-33 deep into the fourth quarter, a bad Stanford team. The week before, trailed 7-3 against a woeful Arizona State team that's playing better, but still trailed in the second half before winning an ugly 15-7 game, and they barely beat Arizona as well. So Washington, not playing its best football right now, goes to USC, and that should be an entertaining one. You get Steve's Under the Radar selection exclusively here at the Voice of College Football. Just become a YouTube channel member over on the main channel or catch us on Patreon, patreon.com/MarkRogersTV. You get the same benefits at both locations. Steve, we always appreciate the breakdown.
Hey, thank you for having me.